about. Must I record? Small thing, record. Can you guys see my screen? So, like I said, today's session is going to be very, very nice and very, very direct. But trust me, I bet you. You see, you people, you are supposed to be just be thanking God that you met me. I'm telling you, because there's nothing in this forex inducement of a thing that I am not going to teach you guys. Only few that I'll keep for my private student. But even though the smart one among you can even decode those ones that refuse to say all by themselves. And forget it, there's nothing anybody, I don't want to know who that person is, anybody will trade that will not fall into what I've taught you guys. But you know, everybody have different selling points. Some people prefer to revolve around complexity. Some people decide to revolve around some different things. But my own rule is keeping it simple as much as we can. You understand? So if some of you are still looking elsewhere and be looking for what is not lost, you are just using your hand to draw trouble to your life. That is the truth. Okay? Because 1 minute, I'll be chill on the market and I'll hardly post. And next minute, I will start posting crazy stuff. And you guys will be like, ho. It's because I did not post it, though. A lot of things is going on. But we really have time when you are making at least a little bit to actually live your life comfortably. We really have time to be posting chat all the time. That time has really gone. Trust me, it has. And I don't really have time to be motivating people. And if you did not trade, bro, I'm enough motivation for myself. If you like, don't trade. Now you sabi. I will not be telling you what I make, the money I made is none of anybody's problem. In as much as I'm better than who I am yesterday, that is all matters to me. So focus on yourself, keep it simple, and make use of every information you are getting here. There's nothing, forget it. There's nothing elsewhere, anywhere. Nothing. It's only if I just want to scatter you guys, bring and start twisting everything for you. But at the end of the day, it's still going to fall back to the same thing you know. Understood? And that is why it's easy for you guys to relate to my teaching, because I relate to what you already know. I just sharpen it more and I give you reason to believe in it. Not like I created this, I created that. Now everything is there on the chart. And the more you look, the more you see. That is why the more you watch my video, the more you understand it. Do you get? So, and if you see somebody's chart that you find interesting, don't try to understand that entry based on their own belief. Understand it based on your own strategy. So if the understanding of that chart does not align with your strategy, ignore it. Don't try to tweak what is not there. You understand? Everybody is good at what they are good at. So be good at what you are good at and ignore what other people are good at. You can only be the best version of yourself. I can only be better than myself. I don't even care if I'm better than you. I don't care. All I just want to be is I want to be better than the person I am yesterday. That is all I care. And I don't want you to always measure your progress based on comparison. Don't do that. You will kill yourself. Always measure your progress within yourself, which means don't measure your progress because Kama withdraw $200 and be like, oh, me, I withdraw $1. You have the feeling that Dax was mentored by Kama. He's always he's my guy, no? So he's my guy, and he's in this mentorship too. Probably he doesn't really join our session, but he always watch the records. And my previous session too, he was there. So he's my guy, so there's no big deal in that. So always measure your own progress by your own. Like, ask yourself, am I better than who I am yesterday? That is what you want to compete with. Not me, not anybody. You understand? Dax win, my win, anybody's win, all my guys, Andrew, Mr. Peak. LPT, their win is none of your business. It's just going to motivate you, but don't put your happiness based on somebody else's win. Always ask yourself that, am I better than who I am yesterday? When I joined Kama Mentorship, has anything changed? Don't deceive yourself. If you have not been benefiting anything from my class, that means I am not the best for you. Then there's no big deal if you go and seek for somebody else. But even though it is hard, because if you find it hard to benefit from my class, hey, wala today. That's the truth. But I always tell you, so always measure your progress within yourself, not within external people. They have nothing to do with your life. They are just source of motivation and lesson. So if you made $200, if you made $50 yesterday and today you made 60, yes, you did well because you are growing. Not because you now saw somebody that made 1,000 and now you start feeling bad like, is it not somebody like me that made $1,000? Yes, you can be motivated, but don't actually let it get to you. Because all those people that you are looking up to started just like you, from $50 to 100 to 200 to 250, before $1,000 become norms, before $2,000 become norms, before $3,000 become norms. And let me tell you the bitter truth about this life, yeah? If you can be making $2,000 consistently profit in a month, you are better than 80% of idolos on Twitter. And I'm not even capping right now. Forget about the followers. Forget about the hype. If you can be making $2,000 consistently every month within yourself, without teaching, without mentoring anybody, from the market every month, my brothers and sisters, you are better than a lot of idolos that has followers on Twitter, on any social media. You are even way richer than some of them. Forget about it. We disrespect money too much these days that we don't even know value of millions anymore. We only complain that, 1 million naira now is now like 100K. Have that 1 million naira first. Stop capping nonsense. 1 million naira is not the new 100K, and you find it hard to have 200K. And you people will be shouting, small inflation, you'll be shouting, 1 million naira is not like 50K now. Like as if you have 200 million in your account. The way they talk, the person did not have 100K, and you are saying 1 million naira is a new 100K. No matter how much inflation is, 1 million naira is a lot of money in Nigeria. So if you are making $2,000 monthly, back to back, that is 3 million naira, bro. You are richer than 80%. I will say it publicly. Forget about what is going on behind the scene. Forget about it. 3 million naira monthly. Don't you heard the news when they said average 90% of Nigerians does not have 500,000 naira in their bank account? You think it's a lie? That is the statistics from the bank. And you now think because you are making $1,000 monthly, you are not still doing enough in this Nigeria. Are you joking? That your school that you go to, if you decide to start working right now, how much do you think they will be paying you? Any salary that will be paying you 1.5 million naira monthly is a high-level A-list job. Is a A-list job. So stop disrespecting money. Everybody capping. They play. Think it's easy. That's why you see some people posting big figures online and they'll be dragging them because of $200. And they won't be able to even pay that $200 before that issue escalated. Who would want to ruin his reputation because of $200? So I'm telling you guys this, that stop that mindset of disrespecting dollar or disrespecting money. $1,000 can change your life in this Nigeria. It will. Because our parents that even brought us this far, they did not even make $1,000 monthly, most of them. My daddy's salary is not up to $500. What are you talking about? So some of you are doing $1,000 monthly. Let's say today $200, next week $100, cumulatively $1,000. You will still feel like you're not doing well. It is all about progress. I didn't say you should not dream big. Yes, dream big, but always appreciate what you have. Always relate the money Forex is giving you to if you decide to work in an office. All these bankers that suit up every day, they are not collecting 1.5 million, only if you are a manager. So that's just, you guys know me. I will always remind you guys facts about things. So don't get distracted about this social media money that everybody is you'll be posting. You are doing well, though, and you can actually think big, but appreciate the moment. Okay, always appreciate the moment, and don't if you lose value of money, bro, you will regret it. Always appreciate every money. That's when you will know that every trade is to be giving your best, because no money is worth losing. No money is worth losing. A lot of you will use 3 months to pay for mentorship, to pay for just $200, and one day you will make $200 profit in a trade, and you feel like the money is too small, and you made that $200 in just less than 10 minutes. You still feel like it is too small, and it took you over 3 months to save $200 for mentorship. Is that not craziness? Huh? So that is that about that. So let's go down to today's business. So I said we're going to be talking about session. Always be grateful. So session. So now we have 3 sessions in the market. We have the Asian session, London, we have the Frankfurt session. We have 4. We have the London session, and we have the New York. Now, what is session? Like I said, I want to be direct about this. I'm not going to be saying grammar. See, session is just different time zone of different countries, right? So now, we know, let's say Nigeria is a working country, and we have USD NGN, GBP NGN. We are also going to have Nigerian session. After Frankfurt, we have Nigeria. After Nigeria, we have London. After London, we have New York. Understood? So it's because our country is not really functioning. That's why. So now, but let me tell you the importance of section at first. In every 24 hours, 24 hours, this is a whole working day, right? But inside these 24 hours, nobody will tell me that you work for the whole of 24 hours. There will always be what we call the working time, or let's say the active time. And the active time is what? Out of these 24 hours, we believe that everybody will start work in this Nigeria, for an example, at least 8 a.m. in the morning. Everybody is ready for work. And at least 4 p.m., the work is over. So which means we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 8 hours out of the 24 hours. This is the actual day. And this is the active time. Am I right? So which means, even if you want to make any money around these 24 hours, this is the possible time that you have a high chance of making the money, because this is the time that everybody is trying to make money. Workers, company, blah, blah, blah. This is when everybody is active. So this applies to every session. Asia, Frankfurt, New York, London, New York, whatsoever. I don't put Nigeria. New York, London. So it applies to everything, right? So Asia has its own timing, right? But my own time that I actually use to focus on this thing is, I start their whole time at 8:00, 8:00, 8:00, 8:00. So now, if you now resume work at 8:00, I want you to get my logic. Is work going to start? Is everybody going to be hyped up immediately by 8 o'clock? The answer is no. Some people will get to work first, clean their desk, do this, do that. So which means you should be expecting activeness in probably 30 minutes to 1 hour of active time. So which means everybody will be hyped up by around 8:30. I'm not teaching you timing. I'm just explaining something. 8:30 to around 9 o'clock. So this is, let's say, the super active time, right? And that's what they call Kinecon kill zone. You guys, they make you guys feel like there's one magic thing that causes kill zone. No, there's nothing. Oyiboni, it is because of this thing. Once you resume work by 8, you cannot be hyped up by 8. You have to, some of you will have to eat, some of you will have to do this first. But by 9, 8:30, 9, everybody's hyped up. No, I'm not actually talking about anybody right now. I'm just telling you why. What I'm saying now is something you can relate to. And if I am not making sense, you can quote me immediately. I don't used to believe anybody create anything from heaven. I believe there's a reasoning behind it. And my own belief is what I teach. So I will try to pass on the belief to you. But you are the one that just have to like listen and be like, oh, is this thing Kama saying? Does it make sense? That's why I always relate everything I teach to our daily activity. I'm not going to say there's one time that the hedge funds tell us that, okay, oh, this time, hedge funds, so they will do this. No, it is because that is the time that normal human being is going to be active more. And when do we want to trade? It is the active time. So in the active time, this is the active time. And this is the super active time, or let's call it the Q zone, Q active time or super active. So under the super active, what are the things you'll be expecting? You should be expecting volume or momentum. So under this volume and momentum, there are two things that you should be expecting again. There are two things that can happen to price. It's either market would manipulate, or it would mitigate. Because when there is a volume in the market is either going to manipulate or what? Mitigate. So in all this session, whenever they open, there are two things the price will do. Either manipulation or it's going to mitigate. Now, the question now is, how are we going to now make use of this? Why does the market need to manipulate when it comes to the price? It's because there are some people, we are the retail traders, and we have the big boys. And what is the work of these big boys? Their own work is to what? Is to take liquidity. And in another word for liquidity, taking money is what? Manipulation. And after manipulation, after they manipulate, what do you think the market is going to do next? It is going to what? Trend. And before it trend, what is it going to do? It has to what? Mitigate. So which means, let's say this is market, manipulation, then what? Then it's going to trend. Manipulation, then trend. Guys, are you following me, guys? Guys, are you following me?
Yes, boss.
Are you getting where I'm trying to drive into gradually? Hope I'm not scattering things.
Yes, boss.
Very true, boss. Very
Good.
true.
Everything was clear.
Good.
Making sense.
So now they manipulate and trend. So as you call yourself an intraday, a smart money trader, which means you don't trade like these big boys, but you follow them. So how would you follow them? What are the two things that will make you follow them? What is their footprint? Their footprint is manipulation and trend, or manipulation and expansion. So what is now your work when you know that their footprint of the big bands that you claim to follow is manipulating and trend? So what is expected of you? Two things is expected of you now. You are also expected to trade manipulation or expansion. And when is expansion going to occur? It's going to occur after manipulation. So when would you see manipulation? And how would you trade manipulation? It is when you spot inducement. And how would you trade an expansion? It is when the manipulation has been done. After manipulation, then you mitigate the manipulation. I'm driving to somewhere. Now, you get the logic and you get the work you're expected to do. Now, let's now go back to time. Now, this is London session. All of us, we know what type of liquidity we are seeking, which is previous day's high, previous day's high, previous day's low, previous week high, previous week low, previous session high, previous session low, swing high, swing low, and round number. These are the type of the points that these people likes to manipulate. Now, these are the type under this session structure highs and low. It is where you have your external liquidity and your internal liquidity. This one too might be external liquidity and internal liquidity. This one too might be external liquidity and be internal liquidity. This one too. So all of them carries external and internal. All of them has it. They have to be a swing point. All of them. Because for a place to be called a high, it is a swing point. So all of them has. So I don't want you to get confused when I say these are liquidity. So they are also external liquidity point. But just external liquidity point is not as strong as external liquidity plus session high and low, plus previous day's high and low, plus. So these are the kind of liquidity they seek. Now, fast forward to session. How do we now make use of this in our trading session? Now, you have your Asian session right here. Why is the Asian session important? It is the first session of the day. So which means as a trader that is following the footprint of the manipulator, you want the first session of the day to cook so that you can anticipate what is going to happen next. That is why Asian session is important. Not because Asian session has one magic. There's no magic there. The same way Asian session is the same way London session is the same way New York session is. It's just that Asian has its own currency pair. Has their own pair. Asian countries has their own pair. London has their own pair. New York has their own pair. You understand? London, they use euro. Abi pounds, GBP. USD, they use USD. So if you are trading USD, you should know that you should be focusing more on what? New York session. Because they are United States America. This is their currency. So any pair that you are trading that has this, should be what? Focused. You should be more focused on what? On New York session. But you might have two pairs, which is why they call it pair. So let's say you have GBP USD. That means you have London, they spend pounds. So that means you should be focusing on these two pairs, because when GBP is active, it will influence Euro USD. When Euro USD is active, it will influence GBP. Don't really cram these ones. I'm just trying to let you understand everything. So that is that about that particular side. So now, Asian session, the reason why we don't pay respect to it is because most of us, we trade USD based pair, USD quote pair, GBP based pair, GBP quote pair. And it is not an Asian country currency. So that's why we are not really interested in it. There are some certain pairs that move in the Asian session that once you go to London session, if they don't have a correlation with London session, they are not going to move very well. So it's just because of the pair. It might be Asian session pair, London session pair. So that's why we don't really look at Asia. So Asia is the first session of the day. So the next session is what? Is the Frankfurt. So as a smart person, what are you expected to do when you already have your Asian session in place, no matter what the price action is? You want to ask yourself, this is the session that you want to get in now. So as someone that knows the work of the banks, which is to manipulate, you see that you want to trade manipulation or you want to trade mitigation. Once you want to trade manipulation, you need to what? Spot an inducement. Now, looking at this price action, you will now ask yourself, I want to draw this properly. Let's say this is what the price is doing throughout till Asia. And everything here is what Asian session did. Now, so we have our Asian high and what? Our Asian low. Fuck the high, fuck the low. So what you want to do is ask yourself, where is the money? Or have they taken the money? So looking at this price action now, if we ask ourselves, where is the money in this range? We can analyze this to be high, low, inducement, high, low, inducement. So under this inducement now, this is the new session. Now the new session started as a bullish range. So what are you expected to do? You can be like, oh, this guy is a break and retest. So this guy has taken it. So which means it has taken money. But it is wrong, because how would you know if something is it has truly taken money? If a price action literally truly took money, how would you know? I will teach you the two types. If something has a liquidity and the liquidity is being earned, liquidity always gets earned aggressively. That is number one. Meaning, let's say this is liquidity. It will get earned aggressively and break back down immediately. That is the first sign. The second sign is it might get earned sluggishly like this, but after it earns it, you see a very aggressive move to the opposite direction. So scenario one, aggressive move, then sluggish move. Scenario two, sluggish move to take it, then aggressive move immediately. That is these two scenarios. Looking at this price action here, we don't have any of that characteristics. The market just came, cleared this high, then start moving sluggishly. So knowing that, I know that the money has not been taken yet. So I know that this is the money that is going to be taken. So what am I expecting? Money has to be taken, either with this pattern or with this pattern. So if it's used the aggressive and sluggish like this, all I just need to do is what? The money has been taken. Once the money has been taken, I have my manipulation. Now that I have my manipulation, where is the breakout structure of this big move? It is here. So this pullback is now what? My inducement. So my entry is right here. So this will be your second entry. And your first entry will be where? After this high got taken. Because you know that you are in a sell environment. And you know that this new session would have high probability of what? Taking this liquidity, then shorting. So this will be an aggressive entry, and this will be your conservative entry. So that is the mindset of a session trading. Now, your session is complete. Once you create this new low, the storyline for you is already complete. Now, you go to another session. Let's say we have another session like this now. Immediately. This is now where I want you to pay attention. Another session now comes. High, low, boom.